Hi, hi. So, what kind of spiritual seeker are you? What kind of seeker are you? So, you have people in different modalities, in different religions, in different dogmas, in different mystical traditions, in different sciences, or whatever it is that are just perpetual hoarders of information. They will devour books and one book after the another, one divinity, type of mysticism after another. And we've all been like that at some point, you know. The question, though, after a while, the question is, and sorry, and it's great to do that, especially when you're coming into this, when you're separating from the egoic self, and you're coming into a bigger version of yourself, and you starting to access all these great knowledge, these books, these texts over thousands of years, that have been written and left for us as markers to guide us back to our expanded self. Um, so in the beginning, it's kind of like a honeymoon, and you reading and you devouring everything, and you just can't get enough. But then you'll meet people, especially in certain areas of society. You'll meet people that's all they do. 10, 20 years later, that's all they've done. They're just gaining knowledge after knowledge after knowledge, and they speak very well about it. And I myself would go through certain periods of that at some point in time in my journey, where I could speak very eloquently about it, and I could, at one stage, many, many years ago, I could quote exactly what was on page 230 of book 2 of Conversations with God. And yes, I had inroads. I had made inroads, and I was on a journey. But a lot of us, we take the 10 things that resonate with us, and out of the 10 things that resonate with us, we only comfortable to take those 3 things. The 3 things, that's my comfort zone. I can just about do the prayer or the affirmation. I can just about try to be a good person on these 3 areas, but don't ask me to do those other things, because that's asking for too much. You're not saying it consciously, but really you're settling at that level. You're settling at that level in your journey. Okay. And I have a client as well, and he was devouring, he was searching and devouring books, one book after the other. He was just so excited to be on his journey, and all the stuff that he was reading it was as though someone had written down his thoughts. So that excitement, that when you're reading something and it's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was thinking and feeling, this is what I'm searching for. This, it's like someone had written down. It just resonates so much. It like a guitar string, when you strum a guitar string, it just vibrates and it resonates with you, with your soul. In that moment of resonate of resonation, when it's of resonance, sorry, resonance, that is when you want to integrate, apply, integrate, and convert that knowledge into wisdom. So you don't want to be talking about somebody else's experience and what they went through. In the beginning, it's fine. In the getting to the middle stages, it's fine. But really, where the work lies is taking that knowledge. You don't have to read 10 books. You could read 1 page and it moves you. 1 paragraph, 1 sentence, and it moves you. Take that and apply it. Apply it and see what happens, because that is the integration work. That is ascension. Not sounding clever about spirituality or philosophy or science or history or whatever this is. Not trying to sound clever and lose yourself in your cleverness. That's it's not, it's a small stage. It's a small stage, and the ego lives on that stage, you know. And we've been tricked to believe that it's a big stage. It's not a big stage. The bigger, more exciting stage is when you start applying it and you actually see how it changes you. You actually see that, oh, hang on a second, I don't think so badly of myself anymore. And then, hang on a second, I'm starting to develop a relationship with myself, with my body, with my cells, with the sky, with the trees around me. I'm starting to think of something bigger than myself. And then you do the work, and you do the work, and you apply the practices, and then the notion comes over you, oh, hang on a second, I'm not thinking so badly about these people that I used to think so badly about before. In some ways, I can kind of, you know, I can understand their perspective. I don't have to accept it, but I can feel more compassion for them. You know, I don't have to be so judgmental about them. And then that's the journey. That is the journey. The little awakenings, the little steps where you can see the changes in yourself. You don't need anyone else to give you a stamp of approval. That's not what this is about. This is about where you can genuinely feel and see the difference inside. That is integration, not getting on a stage or getting on a podcast and talking about it and quoting from a book and just regurgitating it on YouTube or to your friends, or to try to sound wise, because you're not going to sound wise. It's going to come across as inauthentic. Okay, you want to be able to live this knowledge, apply it. Watch your thoughts, disassociate from the old self, redefine with love new beliefs in your neural tracks. You know, that is the level of integration we're talking about. And yes, we're going to fall, we're going to get triggered, we're going to get bothered, we're going to get frustrated, you know, the ego has spent decades in this hold it has over you, and thousands of years actually in the history of mankind that we're all carrying, you know. So you're gonna have to spend a little bit of time to learn to disassociate and learn to build this new self, to build this new identity, this transpersonal self, this integrated being that steps away from the small self and the lower self. So it does take a while. Don't be disheartened. Stop in this world of fast food and fast everything and immediate gratification, instant porn, instant food, instant medicine, instant plastic surgery, instant friendships, in this world of instant coffee. Do not try to bring that here, disassociate with that, okay? Because this is the real work. It's real work, it's steady work, it's moment by moment of falling and rising up and falling and rising up and building yourself from new, from as though you were a baby, and integrating what you're reading, integrating what you're hearing, integrating what you're learning from the greats, you know, living and past, from the Wayne Dyers, from the Louise Hayes, from the Ken Wilbers, from the modern day young people that are coming on board, that you are just resonating with, you know, from Conversations with God, from Eckhart Tolle, from Joe Dispenza. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Just access that information, and whatever resonates with you, that is your answer. That is your answer. That moment. Don't even bother trying to absorb the rest of that chapter or that movie or that book. Stop right there and just sit with it. because that's going to frog leap you faster than had you read the whole book and you're trying to regurgitate it in a platform, or you're trying to be a motivational speaker, or you're trying to be a healer, or you're trying to just live a better life at work. That stillness and that witness to what you just read and how you just responded, that is where that knowledge starts to convert into wisdom. And then you have to rise up and meet it by practicing what you just read, what you just felt, or got in prayer or meditation or whatever. Practicing. And the test is, your feeling is the barometer. So when something comes around and you're feeling down about it, and you're feeling bad about it, or you're feeling angry or triggered by your trigger circle, it's not so much that you don't want to feel triggered. It's not about that in the beginning. It's not about not getting triggered, or not getting angry, or not feeling depressed or pain or self-hate or separation. Ultimately, it's all about separation from who we really are. It's not about that. It's about your awareness. Your awareness rises. That witness inside of yourself, that arises, and you're like, oh, okay, interesting. That awareness. The more and more you give space to that witness inside of yourself, your I am presence, that is the work. That is the gold. That's the gold. That's when you, and then before you know it, you're getting out ahead of it. You're getting out ahead of your trigger circle, out ahead of your depression, out ahead of your anxiousness. You're ahead of it. And that's the journey. And it'll happen. Don't push for it. Just do the work. Don't push for the outcome. Just do the work. The work of self, the work of seeking. And you've reached the point where, believe it or not, you stop seeking. You being and experiencing.